Hi everybody, this is Dennis, and we're going to do a full review now of Eaglemoss's Star Trek. This is part of the official collection. This is the USS Enterprise XCV-330. This was a special issue that Eaglemoss put out. I had done a short on it a while back, but it's time we really dug into it. This ship, we'll get in there and I'll show you some of the details of the ship in a little bit. But, the cool thing about these models was that they came with a really cool book, and it kind of went over the history of some of it. Now, this ship in particular, it hasn't been showing up a lot. The XCV-330 was part of Matt Jeffries' original design of the Starship Enterprise. I think he did it back in like 1964, and it never made it. As the final one, obviously we know the iconic USS Enterprise that wound up winning, but they wound up attempting to utilize this shape in the future. This one has a warp core that is it's circular. And as you take a look at the circular design, one of the things that they've done in canon is they've basically said that it was part of the Vulcan. Basically, think of it like the Vulcan exchange of technology. For those of you that watched Enterprise, there was a tumultuous time with the Vulcans. They didn't want to they gave us some technology, but not too much. But you can see the rings. This was their warp rings that they had utilized. And they wound up using the concept from the original Matt Jeffries in order to create the warp ring of the Vulcans. So what they attempted to do was, in canon, the Enterprise, which was a Starliner of the time, officially, it looks like, as far as we can tell, this book talks about it launched before the year 2143. We know it was a Starliner of sorts. I do own the Star Trek, one of the versions of the encyclopedia, hardcover. And again, there's not a lot of information out there for it. The encyclopedia says it's one of the first space vehicles to bear the name Enterprise. The image, which you can see, it was displayed on the rec deck of the refitted original Starship Enterprise from the motion picture. This was designed by Matt Jeffries for the television series. And that's basically all that they had to say on this particular one, which is cool for those of you that remember the motion picture. When Ileana, or I should say Ilea, and Decker, they're on the observation deck. There's the picture. You could actually see it right there. There's the original Enterprise, the longboat, and of course our CVN carrier. The Enterprise, which the original crew of the Enterprise, Captain Kirk and them, obviously it was Shatner and everybody, they got to all be there for the launch. It was the aerial glider. It was the unpowered one, but it was the first flight of our space shuttle program. And then you can see the liner. And this is what we're currently going to go through. And then, of course, the final one was the Enterprise. And I know that they had looked at making this version part of it, but of course I'm glad they went with the final design. But here was another one. You can see the warp that these are basically the pylons. You can see the warp as it was designed there. But the circular one was more efficient than what we have now. And it was based off the Vulcans, like I said earlier. It was actually 17% more efficient than what the Vulcans did. The problem is, in canon, was while it was very efficient, it couldn't turn. It was very slow and hard to turn. Well, that does not make it very good for exploration. Therefore, they went with the warp pylons, which became the standard. Here's another close-up. You can see the different enterprises that were launched, and eventually, that if you leave the prime, timeline, and you look at the J.J. Abrams stuff, you can even see that in Star Trek Into Darkness, you can see the model. They actually had this model sitting on the Admiral's desk in the background. Now, there's not a lot of information known about it. The Star Trek spaceflight chronology says that the ship is 300 meters long. It's 52.7 million kilograms. It could house 950 personnel within it, which would all be fit into here. It was a Warp 3.2 Starliner, and it was all part of the Cultural Exchange Project of the United Federation of Planets. But the Enterprise was the first one to be equipped with a subspace radio, and the Enterprise became the most popular of its time. So like I said, not a lot of actual details about the ship. As far as I know, there are no armaments on it, but the ring ship, it wound up coming into play. And this version made, I'm going to actually pull it, see if I can get it off its base, because it's all about the base. And we're just going to kind of go through, and I'm going to rotate it for you guys to be able to see. Yeah, you can see all the different details. This really is a cool looking ship. I still hope at some point, I don't know if it's in a TV show or one of the movies, maybe they do something to go back, because I would actually love to see what they do with this one. I really do like the concept of it. I mean, think about this in the time. Space 1999 came out years later. If you can see right there. Even on the, let's see if they show it on there, on any of them. I don't think so. It might have been the Ship of the Line poster. Oh no, this one actually has it. You can see the actual propulsion. You can see that's coming out through the warp rings. So you can actually see, there it is. 2001: A Space Odyssey, they also had rings very similar to this. So it's a cool design for those of us that really are steeped in really Star Trek actual canon. We'll call it alpha canon. Beta canon is there's stuff out there talking a little bit about it. But, that's stuff that's usually in novels and things that aren't actually seen on TV. But that doesn't mean they're not cool. I would like to see them do something with it. It's just a really neat design. And like I said, when you compare it directly, yeah, thanks to the old Vulcans. Well, anyway, guys, I just wanted to show you, I think this is this is a bigger, obviously you can see the size difference between the two. This was part of their XL special edition program. This is a great ship. If you're a Star Trek fan, I highly recommend going out and finding a version for you to display. Eaglemoss has gone under. And so you'd have to get these on the secondary market. I have not seen another company put anything out. I would love to see that happen, though. So anyway, guys, the quality of this is great. The painting on it, you can see, is quite good. I'm going to give this one a CGC rating of a 9. I think this is a great one to have. the size, being able to see it. And like I said, I wish I had more information about the actual history of the ship, but there's not a lot that's out there. I've gone through my books. You can go through online, and there's a number of them, but you can check Memory Alpha. That'll help pinpoint you to some of the places if you're interested in digging up. Or if you guys know something I missed, which is always possible, there's always so many cool things that wind up coming out. Leave your comments below. Let me know your thoughts, particularly if you've got something that you can point me to for more information. Always love to hear it, but I'm all about starship design. I love this stuff, and hey, kind of my passion. So guys, leave your comments down below. Hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll leave the links below, and I will leave it for the Cordrath website. That's the current fantasy story world that Andy Smith and I are creating, and you guys can go check out all of that and sign up for the new Lilith Infernal Conflict graphic novel that we are starting. That'll be the third one in the series. So I look forward to talking to you guys real soon.